Ed here with the Digital Digest, and today I wanted to share a quick unboxing and first look at the Lenovo Legion 7. Now, this gaming laptop has not launched here in the US at the time of this unboxing, but it has overseas, and as a result, we do have an idea of what to expect from the Legion 7 lineup. This is one of the more affordable configurations that Lenovo sent over for review. And as far as an actual launch date here in the US, it'll probably be in July, sometime this summer. And as far as pricing goes, this is probably going to be $1,700, I would say somewhere between $1,600 and $1,700 US dollars. So let's get into it. We've got an AMD Ryzen 7 5800H processor, 16 gigs of RAM that is user upgradable, a 1 terabyte NVMe SSD, also user upgradable, and there is a second slot, a NVIDIA RTX 3060, a 16-inch WQ XGA IPS panel. This is one of the stars of the show here with the Legion 7. So that is a 2560 by 1600 resolution panel, over 500 nits of brightness, and of course, 16 by 10 aspect ratio. So if that's what you've been waiting for, this is a pretty impressive package. Of course, RGB lighting all over the place, 4-cell battery. Let's get this thing out of the box. So I am very excited to share this with all of you. Of course, there will be more expensive flavors of this build with 3070 and 3080 GPUs, 32 gigs of RAM, all that stuff. The first thing I'm going to pull out is the power brick and remove that from the package. Then let's get the rest of the box out. And, you know, this is going to be yet another really good premium option for those of you who've been waiting for better stuff, as usual, to arrive, which it always comes out, right? I mean, it's just a matter of time. And I've been getting a lot of questions about both the Legion 5 and Legion 7, so I'm glad that I'm finally able to share this with all of you. So, nice packaging here from Lenovo, no surprise. And look, this is a premium gaming laptop here in 2021, no question about it. So let's crack open the box, and this has already been opened. That is not a new thing here. Go ahead and move that out of the way, and let's take a look at what we've got here. So the first thing we're hit with, ultimate support, and this is a review unit, as I mentioned, so it's already been opened, nothing new about that. But we're given a complete layout, essentially, of the keyboard, the different buttons, everything you're going to want to know about how to use your Legion 7, connecting the power brick even. All of the ports appear to be, for the most part, on the back of the machine, which I think is a good choice. Always preferred that, personally. And then you can see the variety of different shortcuts to enabling performance, the refresh rate on the display, because you will have to manually switch that with function and R. So this is not a system like the Asus G15, where as soon as you disconnect the power brick, it will essentially switch from 165 to 60 hertz, and a variety of other settings there that I'm not going to dive into right now. Let's get this out of the way, and let's take a look at this laptop, because again, I think a lot of you have been waiting for something quite like this, and I understand why. You know, there's been a pretty tight supply on gaming machines, and now we finally are starting to get some options. So first impression, we've got an aluminum build here. I like the design. It looks good. It's clean. Yes, we have the Legion logo and the Lenovo logo, but I really like the ports at the back. What's going to be interesting about this is cooling, quite frankly, and how much noise this thing makes. But you have to remember, as I stated already, this is going to be one of the more affordable builds, so I think that's going to make it more popular. So we've got a Type-C port right in front of you, a headphone microphone jack combo there, and then as we come around, the physical lip, and then on the right side, a privacy switch and another Type-C port. So all good, really clean, but this is where all the action is, isn't it? So at the back, we have Ethernet, we have another Type-C port, we have two Type-A ports, an HDMI port, another Type-A port, so 3 in total, and last but not least, the actual charging port. So this is a desktop replacement. I mean, granted, the 3060 is not going to set a record, but who knows? In this build, the performance probably will outperform a lot of 3070 builds that are already out. So we could see best-in-class 3060 performance from this. That is what I'm hoping. Again, really clean on the bottom. You can see the Legion fans very clearly. From an angle, less so, but directly on, very clear. Speakers flanking the rubber feet. And of course, as I mentioned, user upgradable. We got Phillips screws all around, so life should be easy when it comes to opening this up, and I'll probably do that over time. So let's go ahead and see if I can power this thing on, if it has any charge. We have a webcam, by the way, top center where you'd expect it to be, and there is the actual keyboard, which, you know, this is another thing that I guess it's really a matter of what users enjoy, you know, subjectively. But key travel on here is pretty good. You know, you have your numerical keypad, power button right here in the center, and there go the lights. And, you know, this is one of the other nice things about the Legion series, matte display, and I'm not seeing any backlight bleed, but I am in a lit studio, so we're going to see after the video exactly what I see. But per key RGB, definitely nice. And in addition to that, you also have the glowing LED strip around the base. So, you know, whether or not that's for you is a matter of personal preference, but of course it can always be turned off. And one thing I really like about this is that it does sync up with iQOO. It is Corsair driven, so that's nice. I have that with my custom built desktop, so familiar for me and nice to see, of course, an extension of that here. But we'll see what toll that takes on the system. I've seen some other reviews where people are specifically pointing to that being a battery suck. So we'll see if that's the case over the course of the review. The display right now, you know, we actually have 94% on the battery, but the display right now, I'm going to actually crank up the brightness just so we see exactly what we're working with. That's pretty bright. It's definitely pretty bright. I'm not sure how well that's going to come across. Again, this is an unboxing. Battery life is going to be the other big question. You know, right now it's estimating a little under 3 hours with 93%, but I've got to play with profiles, see what we are really working with, essentially. But I like what I'm seeing so far. It's impressive. And, you know, no touch screen, not that many of you were wondering. Really solid. Construction across the board is really nice. You know, you're not going to have a problem opening this up one-handed, no question there. And I'm also curious what the quality on the webcam is like. Not that that's what you would buy this for, clearly. After all, I own a G15 that doesn't even have a webcam. Boy, do I feel dated already, right? So this is an impressive machine. There you've got the Legion logo glowing. I mean, this wouldn't be a Lenovo product if it didn't incorporate that, right? And let's take a look at the power brick. I will be putting this through, you know, all the tests. So we're talking about getting into battery life, obviously how hot it gets, the actual draw on the GPU, all that good stuff. And we're going to see how well, you know, the multi-core performance is. Now, this being a Ryzen 7, you know, obviously that's another thing besides the 3060 that lends itself to it being a more affordable build. But more affordable doesn't mean that it's going to be really inexpensive. Now, here is one thing that I knew was coming, and you probably did also, which is the 300-watt supply. And this is really to ensure that, you know, you've got plenty of headroom, and that's putting it mildly because it is a gigantor power brick. But, you know, this is a desktop replacement in a 16-inch profile, so some of you may not like this, but I have to ask why you'd even be interested in the Legion 7 if this was going to undo everything for you. This machine, of course, is going to do its best while connected to this, and this is the same power brick that you'll get across every single model. So don't think that somehow the 3060 got the short end of the stick here. It's because it is standard for the entire lineup. The Legion 7 is powered with 300 watts to make sure that it has exactly what it needs across the board. So, you know, Lenovo not making any, I would say, mistakes trying to keep this thin and light and end up upsetting consumers that are looking for the most performance they can actually get out of their gaming desktop replacement. And again, a 3060, it's hard to imagine that being the case, but this thing seems to check all the boxes. Yes, we do not have Thunderbolt on here, but we have pretty much everything else. And with the throughput you're getting on these Type-C ports, you're going to be very close. You know, you're going to get nearly a gigabyte a second. I would have liked to have seen some sort of card reader. That's kind of standard for me, par for the course. Anyone who follows my channel, you already know that card readers are my thing. I mean, I don't have to have it, but for me personally, it's kind of a must. And I know there are a lot of you out there that won't have a problem with this because, after all, it is a gaming laptop, not a hybrid. It's not aimed at content creation, even if it has a really nice display that I think definitely could be used for content creation. And right now, I'm not seeing, I know I said it already, but I'm not seeing any backlight bleed at all. So this is an exciting machine. You know, it is. And I'm just looking forward to getting some games installed, running 3D Mark, you know, benching it, and coming back to all of you with the results. Any questions or comments, please feel free to post them. Hit that like button. And as usual, please feel free to subscribe, and please stay safe. Later.